Yeah, it looks like we're at the Boone Railroad. James H. Andrew Railroad Museum and History Center. Boone and Scenic Valley Railroad. This is our engine. We're getting all set to board and enjoy a good train ride.
What does the conductor say before everybody gets on? Come on, I got second graders that do a better job than that. It's a beautiful summer day. Ready? 1, 2, 3. That'll work. Okay. There's some seats right by the engine.
Let's get on a train.
We're going to stop at the White Camp, which was for the Fort Dodge, Des Moines and Southern Railroad. That's where they had a formal dining hall. So you will see the little town of Riviera, and it is now the YMCA camp. So those of you, how many have never ridden with us before? Two? So this is my first trip, so welcome. So I've been a volunteer here about 24 years, so we welcome you. This is originally started off 1893 as the Boone Company.
Welcome to Boone and Scenic Valley Railroad.
We're going to talk over
Feature excursion.
Picture from 1906. This was all clear cut. There were no trees going up that draw. And so, and on the left side, as we're going out, this is the best place to be in the summer. You can feel it here. Get this Venturi effect of all of the air comes up the valley here.
North Pole Post Office. Welcome to the Des Moines YMCA camp. Hey, time to switch some seats.
No, you're good.
So what is your name?
I'm Dave.
Well, hello, Dave.
Hello.
Boone Scenic Valley Railroad.
Yep. What we got here?
Oh, okay, so that blows the whistle.
Yep, going in this direction.
Yeah.
On the way back, I'm a passenger just like you guys.
Okay.
Illegal to be here?
Oh, highly illegal.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. But you're an illegal alien.
I do apologize.
Yeah.
The train's going to start heading back, so you might hang up at the
So
caboose.
here's the caboose. Yeah.
We'll let you get back over the common.
Well, here we should get over. Hey, everybody out.
Just a second, conductor.
So let's take a look at this train. We were in the caboose, and now we're heading through the Chicago and Northwestern commuter cars.
Your favorite part of the train, me.
That's true.
So this is the YMCA. This was formed in 1919. Prior to that, this was the little town of Riviera, and down there was the Riviera Supper Club.
Concession car. Looks like an old baggage car.
Fort Dodge in Des Moines to view it. Herman and Gunther to Minnesota.
Good narrations.
Oh, thank you.
So you've been here for 24 years, you said?
24 years.
Okay, well, job well done.
Thank you.
2584. You know, this is the only car that doesn't have fans in them. All the other cars have fans. In the open end car. This is really nice. Good views. Look at that view. Mile marker 39. And now we have a chance to look at the big river gorge. Well, you can see us going over the bridge here. Boy, there's no walkway on this bridge.
Yeah, they do have dinner.
Welcome aboard, car 50. Everybody want to guess what year this car was built?
1950.
Somebody's been talking. Yeah, this car was built in 1915. It's 109 years old. The car was built by a company called McGuire Cummings. The car was built in Paris. Wait for it. Paris, Illinois, down by Terre Haute, Indiana. The main factory was in Chicago. Had a smaller plant in a little town of Paris, Illinois, which is not much bigger than Boone here, where most of the interurban electric equipment was built. I ran in Charles City, Iowa, between Charles City to Marble Rock to meet with the Rock Island, and Charles City to Caldwell, end of track. They ran this car from 1915 to 1952 in normal passenger service. 52 to 68, they used her as a work car. They took all the seats and stuff out of it. All the equipment to work on the track and the overhead wire.
Oh, this is a nice view getting into town. So we have a guard keeping cars from hitting the trolley. Hello, Bob. So we're going to meet in front of the trolley car to get our picture taken. finished the trolley ride, and now we're going to the museum. Boone, elevation, 1,133 feet. I didn't know Iowa went that high.
Like Herb said, my name is Ian. We're going to start at this end and work our way down to the other side. Follow me. Come on in, folks. Just squeeze in here. Find a spot wherever you can fit. We'll kind of start here and then we'll head down a little bit further. This is a EMD NW2 made in the early 1940s. It still has most of its original parts. The original brake stand is still in the cab. It's all torn apart for service right now. We're giving this a classic Milwaukee Road color scheme. There's some final touches that need to be done before it's complete, but then we'll have it out of the shop and hopefully, like I said, running sometime in the near future. For any of you who are curious, this has a 567A block prime mover, so it still has the original water tray in it. That's part of the reason for the maintenance. Off here on the left-hand side, you will notice some of our diesel locomotives. This railroad has been operational since 1984. In the late 80s, we wanted a steam engine, and we thought it would be cool to have one, so we started looking. We looked at some donation opportunities. That didn't really go anywhere. We couldn't find one that suited our needs very well. So in the late 80s, in 88, we got a hold of Datong, China. They have a locomotive factory there, and they were still producing steam on their factory floor at that time. They told us they were about ready to stop making steam and switch over to diesel. If we wanted a steam engine, we needed to buy one. So we bought this brand new off of the Datong Locomotive Works factory in 88. It was shipped here. We received it in 89. Now, here's the big bragging point about this locomotive. Because of the circumstances in which we acquired it, This is the last commercially produced steam locomotive on the planet.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Now this is a Mikado.
This is a 282 Mikado. Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
So a 282 is the wheel configuration. If you come around to the side, you'll see there's a leading truck right underneath my foot here. And then there's these 4 really big wheels. These are called the drivers. And then there's another set of wheels back where Dave is. He's pointing at them right now. So you have to look at one side of the engine and you multiply each wheel you see by 2. So there's 2, 8, and 2.
Oh.
That's the wheel configuration.
It was the first wheel configuration was ordered by Japan.
Okay.
And during the war, they rescinded going to Japan, but it was still called Mikado.
Got it.
Well, they called them MacArthur's during the war.
Perfect. See, even we can learn something. That's right. So,
Good job.
what's that?
Why they call it Mikado?
Yes.
Because they were first that wheel configuration, wheel arrangement, 282s, were first ordered by railroads in Japan.
And then because of the war, they didn't ship them to Japan, but they still carried the name of the Mikado.
Okay.
Very well explained.
Well,
Thank you.
the Patriots here in America called them MacArthur's.
I don't blame them.
So the other interesting thing about this is a coal-fired steam locomotive. Still is, always will be, as far as I'm aware. A lot of steam locomotives have recently been converted over to oil, which that's just no fun. If you ask me. We will fill it up with coal and we will fill it up with water before we go out on a run. And we typically do 2 runs every Saturday. We do a 1:30 and then we do a 4 o'clock run. And most of the firing is done by hand. We use shovels the old-fashioned way. They're
Most steam engines this size with that tender haul about 40 tons of coal, loaded.
that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Steam whistle versus the air whistle, the diesel whistle over here?
Yes, we do use a steam whistle. The air horn that is on the other side was installed by one of our air horn and bell experts. Had a booster in them. Is anybody? It is. It is. It is. Yes. Now, who here knows what a steam engine booster is?
And it's kind of an intermittent. When steam engines first start out, they have the least tractive effort.
Yes.
And so, unlike diesel electrics, who are just the opposite, they get their most traction when they first turn a wheel. At any rate, the booster gives them a little bit of extra tractive effort and horsepower to get started. So if they have a real heavy train, they don't need a helper to get started. They can start themselves. And then when they have a certain speed, it disconnects.
On the 282 Mikados, at least the ones I'm familiar with, the booster actually lifts the front and the back truck under the locomotive, which puts all the weight on the drivers.
More tractive effort.
That's
more
right.
weight, more tractive effort.
It puts all the weight on the driver. So that takes the tractive effort from about 62,000 up to about 80,000. Very, very impressive. There's a lot of, at least I've had a lot of people who will ask, what's the horsepower? How much horsepower does this have?
At speed.
At speed, right? Because horsepower will get you over the hill at 40 miles an hour, but tractive effort is what starts you pulling a heavy train from a dead stop. And I think tractive effort is a little bit more impressive, personally. It's fun to watch. I'd love to have some more volunteers.
The New York Central system, when they went out of business, their peak steam locomotives was a 484 Niagara, and that would generate 6,000 horsepower at speed. So you're talking a lot. That's as much as a modern diesel electric locomotive, but that's at like 60 miles an hour.
Right.
You know.
Absolutely. Thank you for keeping track of the time. Does anybody have any last minute questions?
What do you do?
What do I do? I'm a member of the shop crew. So during the week I work in the shop, and then on the weekends I will operate the trains.
Cool.
And if you're curious, I have begun training on this. So yes, I do know how to operate this to some
Job well done. We finished the trolley ride, and now we're going to the museum. Boone. Elevation 1,133 feet. I didn't know Iowa went that high.